Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check this out. The IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, the IMF managing director, calls for an international payment system, an extension of a public good. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen, everything that we're talking about here today. And give us a follow on TikTok at Digital Perspectives. No spaces. Things are jumping off over there. Shout out to Britta. She's doing a great job. $1.274 trillion market cap for crypto, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin right now is 28,400 plus. The market is off collectively by 14% this morning. 1,900 plus for Ethereum. XRP is 37 cents. We are off by 10% on the 24-hour, 41%. 41.4 to be exact on the 7-day, ladies and gentlemen. The market is bleeding heavily, but you know what? Let's look at the range of price really quickly. It dipped as low as 34 cents. You know how I feel about this. Don't tell Mrs. Backup. I'm buying a big bag. I know the dip. You want to see the moon. You don't want to see any more dips. You want to see some moon, not the dip. But you know what? We're going to get to that in a second. What I do want to tell you is that look at this. I found this quite compelling this morning. This is linked to where you can get private equity. We know you can get Ripple shares, right? And it's fully subscribed. Think about that. In this market, the way it is, and it's fully subscribed. Now, pay attention because you could see more hit the board if they can get a hold of it. But, think of that for a moment. Investors are not confused about what this moment really is. And we're going to get more into that in a second. And don't forget about Link2, Uphold, BitPay, and Dapper Labs, and all the other BlockFi and great products that they have there, link2.com. Link underneath the video. Private equity, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. Everything has its risk. Private equity, crypto, all of these things. But I love private equity for one main reason too. And it is because it doesn't seem to have that huge high risk swings and volatile swings the way crypto does. Now it does have variable risk like any investment, but I love it for that reason. There's no question about that. I put this up last night. Take a look at this. It's in moments like this that real wealth is created. You wouldn't pick an apple or a tomato before it's ready. For those who understand this is planting season, we continue to plant and water our crops. The bull markets are our harvest time. And it really is that way for me, not financial advice, but certainly all of that is my digital perspectives. Take a look at this. Speaking of perspectives, 440.3 million XRP have been moved as the price of XRP has dropped. I have to say that is probably to handle ODL, and it takes a lot more XRP to handle it, I would imagine. And look at this right here, because, this information from the FOIA request from Empower Oversight, Jason Foster, shout out to all of you there at Empower Oversight. I ask again to all of those in the Hinman email chain, was the ETH free pass in the drafts of the speech he gave in June 2018? Hinman stated in the 2018 speech, based on my understanding of the present state of Ethereum network and decentralized structure currently offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions. And that is just a part of what he said there in that speech. And that's what we need to know about what went on in those email drafts. It can be quite damaging to the case for the SEC if we get to the bottom of that, because we need to find out if the ethics office was aware of that portion of the speech before William Hinman gave it, because it speaks to a much larger problem now, doesn't it? So stay tuned for more on that. And let's talk about the U.S. Terra debacle, the breaking of the peg there, and obviously a dip in the USD Tether peg as well. We're going to get into that in a second. And don't forget, we had Linda P. Jones on this show about the USD Tether stablecoin, that they are supposedly, it is rumored, maybe trumored, that they are connected back into Evergrande out of China, which is looking to be the next Lehman Brothers moment, but for China, not America, that could be a cascading crisis right there, not just for stablecoin USD Tether, but for China and other surrounding economies as well, U.S. possibly included in that. And looking here to the U.S. Terra stablecoin, if those who want to understand the short version of the stablecoin collapse and runs, take a look at this. Problem is, stablecoins backed by highly volatile assets instead of one-to-one to the U.S. dollar. We're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, other crypto assets, right? Institutions short the volatile assets, causing a death spiral, equaling the matter of national security when it comes to crypto executive order. It's as if Warren Buffett said some time ago, only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. In other words, the reality is that these stable coins are not properly backed. And I do believe it was some kind of collaborative effort for the institutions to do this now. Why now? Right? It's just amazing to me. We will keep you up to date as more information comes in. Tether, again, is off by 5% on its peg, and that was just a few hours ago. And then we see here, Tether also in a few minutes, 5 hours ago, said that they were going to coordinate a third party to perform a chain swap, converting from Tron TCR20 to Ethereum ECR20 for 1 billion USDT, and from Tron TRC20 to Avalanche for 20 million USDT. The Tether total supply will not change during this process. There's a lot going on, but look at this. This is USD coin, $1.01. Nothing wrong with this peg. No slippage here, right? And I think this becomes your real contrast and comparable moment, right? I've said many times that I believe the USD coin is going to become the official, and I believe it already is the unofficial U.S. retail digital dollar, and we will keep an eye on that as well. What you're going to want to see now is this from Kristalina Georgieva, and this is quite compelling here. I picked a clip and put it together of all the important things you need to know about her speech that she gave, confronting fragmentation, how to modernize the international payment system. Yes, that's what we're talking about. That's what she's talking about. She says, imagine Augustin Carstens, Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum, and herself standing on a mountain, pledging allegiance to all of you for full entry into a digital age, sound international monetary system. She even says in here, a digital payment platform, an extension of a public good. Where have we heard that before? Take a listen to this clip.
Set of rules, and again, many. So close your eyes and imagine we ought to face this great challenge of international payment system that is managing the risk of fragmentation and coming with digitalization that allows us to connect. There are risks that are very real. Some are structural risks. Private digital money providers are promising cheap cross-border payments, but often only within their close network of users. So what is my main message? Countries need to work together to build new roads, railways, bridges, and tunnels using public digital platforms and compatible payment systems that connect. So we do that, we reduce the risk of fragmentation. A tall order, but not impossible. Today we heard many examples of sending money across borders that is nearly instantaneous and costless. And this is where I want to recognize the BIS Innovation Hub in partnership with many central banks, including the Swiss National Bank, for advancing the deployment of these technologies. A central component of the pilot is public infrastructure. It doesn't mean we don't want private innovation, but there has to be the certainty and the trust foundation that a public infrastructure provides. This involves digital platforms that facilitate communication, regulatory compliance, competition among payment providers, and essentially settlement of transactions across borders. And that opens up the door for private sector innovation, for competition, for enhanced functionality of the platform. And it extends the notion of a public good. And that ensuring settlement finality, offering a standard programming interface, a shared language to access and automate services on the platform.
If that doesn't sound like the XRP Ledger XLM and then the ISO 20022 standard language, near zero cost for settlement, name me one other blockchain digital project out here that has done the work to the level that Ripple has and XRP's implementation and all of these things, RippleNet, ODL, Ripple Liquidity Hub. Name me one other that's done as much, has gone as far, and climbed the mountain as high. I'll wait, but let's listen while we wait.
So the idea is that a platform that connects various forms of money for countries to use and legally support, and that could include commercial bank deposits, but potentially also central bank digital currencies, and even some stablecoin arrangements if they are well designed and regulated. A new public infrastructure of digital payment platforms could enable countries to do better, not only in cross-border payments, but also domestically. Who will be able to access these cross-border payment platforms? Under what conditions? Who will run, manage, and oversee these platforms? What is the role of the private sector? We need to tackle these questions, and we don't have much time to come up with a clear set of rules, and again, many. So close your eyes and imagine Augustine, Klaus, and me on the top of a mountain, pledging allegiance to all of you, so we can make it successful, an entry, full entry in a digital age with sound international monetary system and more benefits for people. Thank you.
So much in that clip, I tell you, it's absolutely, it's so exciting to me. And what a contrast it is, right? You know, in the time that we're in and watching the crypto market just get pummeled right now, but her to be so extreme for a call to action here to really say that it is time for a digital age, and we're standing on a mountain pledging allegiance to you that we're going to bring you into this digital age in a sound international monetary system, a digital payment platform that's an extension of a public good. Well, like what? Where we heard that before?
XRP Ledger's hyper-efficiency and liquidity enables developers globally to support numerous use cases, from DeFi, payments, consumer applications. And you don't need anybody's permission to interact with the XRP Ledger, right? It's a public good. It's
a public good. That's what David Schwartz said about the XRP Ledger. And we know that an extension of the internet and the digital age we're in, a new digital platform that's an international sound monetary system for the digital age, is also an extension of the public good to Kristalina Georgieva. And at the same time, the head of the Digital Dollar Project, Chris Giancarlo, shout out to you, is suggesting that the government should consider adopting a protocol of value for the internet to ensure the Fourth Amendment and other freedoms and privacies are respected for the new financial system as well, and the digital dollar. He says it's worth considering. Oh, well, we're not done, because guess who else is considering all of this new digital age, new digital platform, which I firmly believe the XRP Ledger and possibly Stellar Network are involved in. My speculation, not financial advice. Take a look at this. Here's the SEC just a couple months ago, a handful of months ago. What was it, 3-4 months ago of 2022 in the Sunshine Act, Meeting Act, where they approve and they acknowledge that they are indeed working on using distributed ledger technology to shorten the settlement time of derivatives market. This, I believe, could also have XRP Ledger playing a role in this. Take a listen to this as they vote unanimously to approve to work on that.
The ever-increasing pace of advancements in technology, including distributed ledger technology, further shortening the standard settlement cycle in the near future may be both desirable and feasible. Indeed, some such efforts are already underway.
Today, we do have those technologies not only to shorten the settlement cycle to 1 day, but also to shorten key elements of what's called the clearing process, that which goes on before. Also, I think rather important, it requires 3 important steps in that clearing process, the back office plumbing process of affirmation, i.e. to fully automate transaction processing, again, lowering risks in the system. Now, separately, the Commission is also issuing a robust request for comment around areas to consider with respect to potentially achieving same-day net settlement in the future. Net, because it's still netting positions, but possibly moving the money, moving the securities in the evening or end of day. The technology actually exists today, not just for same-day affirmation, confirmation, and allocations, but even for same-day settlement. How do commissioners vote on the division's recommendations to amend the Securities Exchange Act on clearing and settling?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, the recommendation is approved unanimously.
So there we have it. Everybody from domestically in the United States to at the international level, we have Kristalina Georgieva, Augustin Carstens from the BIS, and Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum, pledging from a mountaintop to bring us all to full entry in the digital age of a sound international monetary system with a digital platform that is an extension of a public good. I don't know about you, market dip or not. I'm buying the dip, baby. Again, not financial advice, but that's where I'm at on this day. I'll catch all of you on the next one.